Elkins presents the Elkins Accounting Hour with your host, Chad Elkins.
All right, Mr. Clary, how are you feeling? Did you have a nap today, or
No, it happened to me again. Like I guess you guys are right about that coffee thing. I hate to give it up because I got no vices left, but about 2:30 this afternoon, I just died off a cliff, and so I did a video, and then I what else? Just some minor stuff. Hung some pictures, and then I slowly came back. So I'm doing, but I do have great news.
what's happening?
Well, you like monetization, don't you?
I love it.
Yeah. So Twitter has two stages of monetization. One I already meet, but I have to set up like a club, like
Mhm.
a paywall or membership type of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like chart. I mean, I already have one on Subscribe Store, but it just then you got to create content specifically for that's a pain in the ass. Then the higher standard is to just get monetized for advertisements. And there you need a significant more amount of traffic. And I did the math. You can do Twitter analytics, and they measure it on a 3-month average. You need 5 million impressions in 3 months. And I was short 2 million impressions I get about 1 million impressions per month. So I'm 2 million short, except for today. Because guess what happened today?
You got that. You were telling us about. You got the tweet that had a lot of.
Yeah, I got a tweet that went viral. It's got 2.4 million. So boom, like and it's still going. So I think this month, I will, and I don't know if you got to maintain a 5 million impression per 3 months or what, but I should be able to qualify for monetization. I'd like to thank all the fake victimhood not well, okay, they claim to be not straight, but they're not really straight. They're straight people faking being gay or bi whatever for attention. Oh man, they freaked out because I posted a meme about a wife getting fat and the guy leaving his wife. That was it. It wasn't even that controversial, but it went viral.
Mm.
But for some reason, it upset the fake LGBTQ community.
You mind if I share the screen and put it up real quick, just
Yeah, if you
so?
can, go ahead. No, it's great.
Sure. Yeah, and tweet us out if you're able to.
Already
You're
already
the.
tweeted you out. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah. Earlier this morning, I think.
Oh, I didn't see it. Well, yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay, hang on. I'll go. Let
I'm
me
gonna
see.
share, yeah, the screen because if you guys haven't seen this yet, this is pretty good.
It's good, but it's not that big of a deal. But then I don't know why the the fake. We have to delineate between the real and the fake. The fake LGBTQ community is all up in arms about it. Let me see if I tweeted you out here. I told. Oh, maybe I didn't. Hang on. Let me tweet. Let's tweet this out because I'm a big Twitter person now.
You are. That's
I'm
why I
a
was like,
big Twitter person.
yeah, well, tweet us out. Yeah, so shoot, how do I get us out of this thing? Full screen layout. There we go. Yeah, for you guys who haven't seen this, we got the first stage of marriage, which is look at her washing those dishes and us enjoying the view, right? We like that.
We like that. Yeah.
And so then we get to a little bit further into the marriage, it's still all right, but maybe gravity's taking its toll. Then we've probably had a few kids, or by this point, we see that it's starting to really take a shape that we weren't necessarily expecting, and unfortunately, now we get to the final stage, as you can see, where it's you know.
They are the stages of choices. There is no, oh, she had kids or gravity. She chose to put the food in her mouth. That's what it is. Kids or not, it is the stages of choices.
Damn, 2.5
Yeah,
million views.
2.5 million. Ain't it great?
That's the most you've ever had, right?
No,
Probably.
I
Maybe?
think I've had. Remember the picture you took of the gay pride at
Oh,
Target?
at Target,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I got a bunch of death threats and all that. So that one went super viral, but I got a bunch of death threats, so I had to kind of take that one down. But I don't think Twitter had monetization back then. Now I'm not getting any death threats or anything, but yeah, I'll take the 2.5 million. If it could get up to 10, that'd be fine. Because that would totally, I think, keep my 3-month average way up. And my concern is it goes back down to its normal, and then I'm below the 5 million threshold, and then I lose monetization. So I don't like tweeting all the time just to get monetization. It's kind of a thing I do on the side.
Well done. Yeah, I saw that like right after you put it out, and I did chuckle. But yeah, that man, if it gets you monetized on Twitter, hell yeah.
I feel you see I've posted way funnier and way more controversial stuff than that, and it just takes the see. Do you remember the Mad Max article?
Yeah,
Okay,
long time ago,
long time ago, but it was through the Mary Sue, which is a website, which is I think more or less defunct now. It isn't what it used to be, but there was one person there at the Mary Sue who had her contacts throughout all the media journalism world, or more tabloid world. And oh, look at this idiot. So anytime I created a fake email account and I emailed the author at the Mary Sue, like I would write controversial articles on my blog and I would email that person like, hey, this is the same idiot guy, that hoping I could get the same cascading effect. And it never happened. So I wish I kind of knew the one person in the disproportionate, it's not purely LGBT fake community, but I'd like to know the one person who got it to go viral. Like that's the person I need to make sure sees this and makes it go viral otherwise.
Well, look at who else saw it. Atham says that even his GF got butthurt about that meme about the wife getting fat.
Was Atham the one that sent me, or did he show it? Or like, I thought
Yeah,
somebody
where
sent
did
it
you
to me.
find that?
I don't know. Somebody sent it to me.
Yeah, well done. I mean, you've had some other pretty funny ones, but I don't know. I had a hunch that one would get some engagement. Wow, 819 shares or
Yeah, it's
quotes.
crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy. All right. Well, real quick, as we always do on the Elkins Accounting Hour, the beer of the evening, at least the one I'm starting with, is called the Stormcaster Juicy IPA. It's a Shiner, so kind of a macro brew beer here in Texas. You can get in other parts. It's only 5.5% ABV. I chose it because the candidate and I were at Total Wine about an hour or two ago, and I picked up some much better beers. So this is just what I'm drinking until the show is over, and then I get better beers. So
Okay. Is that like your reward if you do a good job podcasting, you get a Scooby snack?
that plus, they need to chill out in the fridge there because I
Oh,
need it
yeah,
to be
yeah.
cold. Oh, so Atham sent it to you.
Yeah, he did send it to me.
On
Yeah,
Facebook
that's okay.
Messenger.
Yeah, it was Atham. Yeah.
Good
See, he's
stuff, Atham.
I owe Atham my monetization for Twitter.
There you go, Atham. Atham, I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks, by the way, and Clarion a little bit longer than that, but
Soon.
yeah, soon. Ooh. So, Clary, let's talk about beer real quick before I get to what I think is an interesting subject, which I think you'll have plenty of opinions on.
All right.
I was originally going to do a stream about beer because, believe it or not, there's a tax-related item to beer. But honestly, this is just something we can go over in 5 minutes. So I thought you'd think it's pretty interesting. I'm going to share my screen again here. Damn it, accounting today. So did you know that our government has something currently in Congress, and it's called the Cheers Act? Let me share the screen real fast. Have you ever heard of this?
No, is it like the bar Cheers, like the TV show?
It stands for Creating Hospitality Economic Enhancement for Restaurants and Servers.
Okay,
Cheers.
all you politician nonprofit people need to knock it the fuck off with these acronyms. They're lame. They've been lame for the past 30 years. Just what how did they pigeonhole? How did they crowbar this? The what is this now?
Well, so anyway, first of all, Torgo agrees with you. He's like, look, why do they tailor the bills for stupid acronyms? I think you're right.
What does it stand for again?
It stands for Creating Hospitality Economic Enhancement for Restaurants and Servers. You see? And what it is, I don't even think I'm going to read this whole thing. I'll just tell you, it expands the tax incentives for qualifying investments into energy efficient systems to include keg and tap properties. So that basically, if these bars if their kegs meet some kind of like energy efficiency criteria,
A
they get
keg.
tax break. Yeah,
A
draft beer,
keg.
a keg. Yeah,
We're incentivizing bars to buy particular kegs, huh?
it is
Don't
pretty.
I don't want to hear any Democrats say we live in a capitalist economy. This is bullshit. This is
It's
not a capitalist economy.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And of course, it's Illinois, a senator from Illinois or congressman from Illinois introduces it. Illinois has a rich history of craft brewers and local bars from Chicago to Peoria to beyond. This passed in Congress, but nothing has happened, on the Senate floor. So this thing's probably just nothing's going to happen. But in a way, it relates to something you did because it's no secret you're a fan of solar panels, right?
I am a it's not necessarily I am a fan of hedging against the competency crisis coming. I'm pro electricity. I like to have electricity. And I think that in the future generation, meaning starting now and going into the future, you are going to have less and less reliability in the electric grid. And therefore, it's not going to go out right away, but your electric bill will become more and more expensive as we have more and more liberal arts college graduates and less and less electricians. So it
Mhm.
is not that I am for the environment, I'm for the environment. And I will admit, solar powers are pretty cool. Solar panels are pretty cool. I'm really digging the technology. I kind of like it. It's pretty neat. But to be fully honest, I do it because I'm hedging against American stupidity and laziness. That's the truth.
Okay. I honestly thought a big part of why you were doing it was because of that huge tax credit that we got you for it. You remember that?
That's a set that helped, but I would have done it anyway without it because again, I like to have electricity.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that, if this ever goes through, which I really doubt that it's going to, in all honesty, but if it does, what's neat is that they'll be probably filling out the same form that I filled out for you, to get you that credit, that form 5695,
Uh,
or a variant of it on business. So I don't know. I like beer. I like taxes. This was something, and it relates to something you did one time. So.
What's the incentive? Are kegs designed a certain way that they're a tremendous burden on the environment? What are they trying to achieve with this incentive?
Really two things. There's always you see the whole energy efficient system. So we
How
don't
much
know
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say we don't I was trying to find out when I found this article, like what are the energy incentives that they're proposing? And I couldn't find any information on it. But they're doing it because and this is in the article because of COVID, as you know, a lot of like restaurants and bars either went completely under or they suffered severe financial setbacks. So
Right.
they're trying to just give them a little bit of a break, give them credit for buying new kegs that
Well,
meet some
then
kind of
how about lower their taxes?
yeah.
What is this complicated bullshit? That's what I'm trying. Do kegs? They said keg and pouring systems. Do they take up a lot of energy? Like
I
isn't it pressurized? How
Yeah,
much? Yeah,
I wouldn't think that they really do. But as you can see here, it says the legislation would also incentivize the use of sustainable draft containers and installation property. And I found the bill and I really tried to, wade through it. Because remember, I was going to do a whole stream on this, but there's just not a lot in there that really
yeah.
specifies what would, yeah.
The kegs are reusable. You refill them, so you're not making any more. I can't imagine the taps are all pressurized, so you need some electricity to keep the pump and the air pressure up in those systems. But solar panels would. That's where I have no idea what the environmental upside or whatever any kind of upside is in giving them if you want to help them, just give them a tax break.
You know what, man? That just makes too much sense for the federal government and especially Congress to consider. But there already is a qualifying energy efficient tax credit, as you can see here, for commercial property. And this just expands it for new kegs and taps, something like that. Is it pretty lame? Yes, it is. But again, I like beer. I like taxes. I was like, this is at
No,
least worth mentioning.
you live in Illinois and your representative, a Chicago rep, I'd imagine, right? Wasn't somebody
Hmm.
out for where the people work in Illinois. Okay.
Very much a
Had
Chicago
to
rep.
do something, right? It was a boring Tuesday And Liberal Jerk-Off Joe has literally nothing on his resume. I helped pass the Cheers Act. What did it do? Nothing, but I'm on the record now.
So this article came out on March 11th of this year, and so it's just been sitting on the Senate floor. Obviously, it's just going to die there. So credit for trying.
No credit. Why do they waste anyone's time with that bullshit?
Politics,
But doesn't Congress have more important shit to do? I mean, honestly, okay, what if Congress just took a day off? Like, why even waste your time debating this bill? Like, just hey, can we just not table or field stupid laws and then we can all go home early?
It's because they have to act like they're doing work, I guess.
Golly.
That's probably why. Look, man, I share your disgust. These things are so stupid. And yes, the dumb acronym, like whenever you're doing an acronym like that, it's meant to really be for political purposes. But yeah.
Do you know where the United Network Command for Law Enforcement comes from?
United Network Command for Law. What?
The man from U.N.C.L.E.
That's
the only acronym I like is the United Network Command for Law Enforcement.
Well, you might have to explain that to some of our younger.
There's a good old 1960s spy show called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. They made a movie more recently. It was great. But if you got a teenage boy or a young boy, young kids in general, they would love The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's a good 1960s, and it was the United Network Command for Law Enforcement.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. Good stuff. All right, so I'm going to clear the one quick super chat we have here, and then I want to get to a topic, and I'm very curious about your thoughts on this. So go ahead and read this gentleman's.
And clogs, $5. We love our state mothers and Ministry of Mothers. Can't wait for State Mother's Day. Cappy, love is love. Chad being Chad, and a whole bunch of emoticons there.
Oh yeah,
is Hat gay? Like, is Hat legit gay, or does he just put the stuff up all the time?
Have you met Hat? I can't.
Yeah, I met Hat. I didn't ask him. I didn't really care, but Hat, are you gay? We don't know. Not that we're going to judge or anything.
I think he's just expressing enthusiasm for Pride Month. Yeah. All right. So the subject I want to talk about tonight involves some personal stories of what I did very early on when I started this practice, and I want this to be a learning experience, but I have a bit of a loaded question for you possibly. What are your thoughts on financial advisors, like financial planners? Do you have a positive opinion?
It depends on the role and capacity. If you need someone to tell you what to invest in, those people are obsolete.
Yes.
And I would get rid of them.
Yeah.
And the short version is that the majority of investment professionals, whether that's a financial advisor or it's a mutual fund manager, a hedge fund manager, the vast, like 85+% cannot beat the index.
They're salesmen, aren't they? That's all they are.
But see, back in the day, I mean, yeah, everyone's a salesman, but back in the day, before there was really index funds and index investing, yeah, it would pay to have someone to do that. So I think those people are obsolete and frankly shouldn't be in business. Until we see people regularly beating the index, showing a skill or something like say Warren Buffett, I don't think there should be financial advisors or planners in that capacity. However, when it comes to say estate planning or depending, we could just say index investing. All right, well, are you 25 or are you 55?
Sure.
What about your estate? Where it starts to go into setting up your will. How much money do you need to square away each month? That I think a financial planner is good because one, they get you off your ass. Two, they kind of hold your hand. Like if you're a rookie person, you don't know how to set up an account. You don't know. I mean, you can do it, but you don't know what the hell the S&P 500 index is. So to have someone hold your hand and get it so that you have an IRA set up, some retirement plan set up. Okay, you invest in an HSA, they assess and look at your overall tax situation and say, okay, well, the best thing for you to is like a Roth versus a traditional. So kind of making those, so in other words, designing your retirement and investment plan for you. I think they're very good in that role. But then what goes into that? That's just a robo advisor now. You could go pay any online robo advisor to allocate the actual investments for you.
Right. I'm probably going to be making some controversial statements that people are going to disagree with, but again, this is my own personal experience, and I need to talk about first, just to educate people. And you did a pretty good job explaining what they do,
Mm.
actually. But just to, they're basically professionals who help clients develop and implement strategies to achieve their financial goals, like you said, budgeting, saving, investing, retirement planning, tax planning, etc. Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, you were right about that. To get a lot of them, you have to get certifications. There's Series 7, Series 66, Series 65, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Um, Here's where I'm going to perhaps catch some heat, but I will explain this. Okay. Clary, I just feel like it's a very easy job. I feel
It
like
is a very easy job. Yeah.
it's extreme, like because they've like everything is kind of like automated at this point. And like you said, in previous decades, you really needed someone like this. You need to sit, you need to plan it out, and in a sense, it's good for everybody to do this. But uh, it's a sales job. Okay, to
Now,
me,
yeah, predominantly it is now. Yes.
it's a sales job. All right, and let me just say, like, I have two very good friends that are financial planners, and I worked with one of them. And again, I'm going to tell the story. And I talk to them all the time about the work they do and the money they make. And again, I'm just going to say it, for the fees they charge, to do all this stuff, which involves, again, very limited amount of real work, in my opinion.
Right.
I think they're paid quite a bit for the lack of like work that they actually
Right.
do. I'm
Right.
just
No.
gonna, yeah, and I'm gonna catch some heat for that, I think, for
No,
saying it.
no. Well, okay, you could catch heat, but you're exposing a truth. Are they are probably working for an investment firm, right? That
Yes.
has a suite or family of mutual funds they recommend, which could be perfectly fine investments. But at the end of the day, it's you can do that part yourself.
Yeah,
But yeah, they are an obsolete group. Well, okay, let me ask you this, Chad. Let's be honest.
sure.
It's April the 13th. Okay. And Susie Sue comes in. Oh my God. I just have one W-2. Chad Elkins, can you do my taxes for me? What do?
Use TurboTax, lady.
What does
Oh,
Chad Elkins do?
Japanese
Japanese
refusals. Yeah.
refusals. Do you say it'd be $1,000? What happens sometimes with Japanese refusals?
As I learned last week, sometimes people will take you up on them.
So, and where you may not understand that, or maybe you do at a certain level, they're not necessarily paying you to do the taxes. They're paying you to get it off of their mind and to know
Yes.
it was done right. They're paying for insurance and peace of mind is what they're paying for.
Sure.
I
Agreed.
think in defense of these financial planners, even the ones that choose your investments for you, some people just don't want to deal with it and take what would
Sure.
be no more than an hour or read through my book, Bachelor Pad Economics. They just want to pay someone to do it, and they're happy to pay 1 or 1.5% of their assets per year to do that. And I
Fair
would
point.
argue it's better that they do that than not at all, because otherwise you're one of these 1 in 3 boomers, or pretty much anyone under 45 who doesn't have enough money saved up for retirement. So it's you know, we have a dentist friend, right?
Oh, yeah.
How much would it cost people to pay him to brush their teeth for them? Probably a lot, but it's better that they brush their teeth than not at all. So if some people want to pay for this convenience and the ease of mind, I can understand it. But yes, it is a very easy thing for you to do more modernly today that you don't need them.
I'll be seeing that friend in a week because I get my annual teeth cleaning. Yeah, and there's a reason. And now, understand, I'm not trying to shit all over them. I'm trying to relate this to what I do and what other tax professionals have to consider when dealing with financial advisors and
Mhm.
financial planners. And if there's time, I'll have a very recent story about this towards the end here. Um, so to me, yeah. So it's a salesman's job. Okay. Yes, people want the peace of mind, but the thing is, unlike tax professionals, us, where clients have to seek us out, like you said, because everybody has to file their taxes for the
Mhm.
most part. So take it or leave it me. not everybody has to use a financial planner.
No.
So I think my argument is that whereas what I do, maybe I'd say what I do is maybe like a 15 to 20% sales job. What they do, I think, is probably like an 80%
Oh,
sales job.
95%.
Yeah,
Because I guarantee you, Chad, how it works is these people don't even sit down and talk to their clients. They sit down, talk to the clients, ask them questions from a computer screen, enter
yes,
that information in, and the software already does the allocation and recommends a
right.
fund.
It's
Right.
formulaic.
Which if you want to go to a robo advisor and you enter in the data yourself, you save yourself 1 to 2% a year, which adds up to a tidy sum over 50 years. So
Right.
the internet has obsoleted the vast majority in the need for financial planning.
It has. And I think one of the things that bothers me about this is that they okay, let me say this. There's always going to be a little bit of tension, professional tension between what tax professionals, CPAs, EAs, and what financial planners do. There's always some it's we're
Mhm.
never going to see each other eye to eye. And I want people to understand that are listening to this is that, well, I'll get down to it. What I was going to say was like when the market is good, right? So if
Mhm.
stocks are going up, everything's buddy's doing well and everything. What I've found is that the financial advisors and planners that I know, they take all the credit for that. Like they're
Oh
like, "Oh
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
the market's up, I'm doing a great job." However, what's the flip side of this, dude? Like what happens when the market goes down?
Oh, they're blamed for it.
No. I mean, they are at first, but again,
Right.
they're salesmen. From what I understand, and again, I have two very close friends that do this, they're able to talk their way out of absorbing any blame. Like in a sense, they're kind of like they're mild bullshit artists in a way because the best ones from what I've seen are able to basically they got the gift of gab to like
Right.
stop their clients from blaming them when things go poorly. So it's like they take credit that when things go well that they don't really have a ton of control out of.
Right, but doesn't that normally happen? Like, I don't know if you remember the dot-com boom. Everyone had their
Yeah,
little investment clubs, and oh, they were all Warren fucking Buffett. No, it wasn't low interest rates or a technological revolution. No, everyone was a genius investing in dot coms. Then when that collapsed, everyone, oh well, there weren't profits. It was the dot coms fault. Same thing with if you were looking at real estate, like, oh, I'm a real estate bro, I'm a real estate investing genius. Like, no, you just have interest rates below 3%
right,
for absurdly long times. Like you're not, but then when interest rates went up, like, oh yeah, interest rates are higher. Yeah, that's it's not my fault. So that's just
right.
natural human inclination. Yeah.
John Watts, none of this matters, Chad. If a financial planner comes to you with a client, you have the capacity and they have the money, take the client. No, I'm going to get into this. I mean, I understand why you said that. And that was my original mentality with this. But hang around, John, if you can, because you really, my show is obviously geared towards tax professionals. Okay. So
Mhm.
let's keep that in mind. So here's my question for you. Okay. Should tax professionals and financial advisors work together for their clients? It sounds like an obvious question.
Yes, I would say
Yes.
yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. They should work together because all aspects of your financial planning should be aligned.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, Clary, do you think again, my experience, and I went to school with some of these people, do you think how much how much about taxes do you really think financial advisors really know about? Like
Near zero. They just know
near
the tax benefits of each of the
yeah.
retirement plan. Yeah, they know they can't do your taxes. No.
So here's my kind of the crux of what I'm getting at with all this. Yes, it's very good for the client if, a CPA and a financial planner work together. This is also very, very good for the financial advisor since they get to cover their asses. They get to be lazy. They don't have to learn about taxes at all.
Right.
And they get to blame the tax accountant if something goes wrong from a
Do they
tax
blame the tax
standpoint.
accountant?
Oh, sure. It can happen.
All
And it
right.
has happened. So here's the main question. And again, this is from an operating your own practice standpoint, okay? Is it good for us tax professionals to work with financial planners in terms of seeking out clients for referrals? Is this a
Is it
good
good
idea?
for tax accountants to contact financial planners to see if their clients also need tax services?
Yes. Think
Okay, let
about
me let
this.
me think. Is it good for you to search out?
I know it
I would
sounds
say, yeah, it
obvious.
seems obvious. Yeah, but there's obviously a catch. What would be why no? Because I can't see a reason why wouldn't you want clients? I mean, if they're financial planners, they're going to need tax accountants. So why wouldn't the you find clients and they need financial planning, you send them to the financial planner. Financial planners find clients, they need tax services, they should send them to you, right? Am I missing something?
It all sounds very
Very
win-win, doesn't
simple.
it?
Yeah,
Very
okay.
simple.
Yeah.
Story time.
Oh, I like story time with
You
Uncle
like
Chad.
story
Oh
times.
boy, okay.
You like my pain too.
I do enjoy your pain.
So now we are getting to the crux of all of this, and I'm going to be discussing my personal experiences. I've been at this for over a decade now, and I mean like in my own,
Mhm.
on my own shop and everything. So, and I mentioned I have two good friends that are financial advisors. As I was first becoming established several years ago, obviously I had lots of capacity for new clients. Okay. One of these financial advisor good friends of mine approached me and he suggested this. He goes, let's partner up and work as a team. I have about 30 clients that don't have anybody helping them out with their taxes. They don't have anyone that does it, and they need tax prep. So of course, me, I'm just getting started, and I'm like, well, how am I going to find clients? To me, I was like, yeah, man, like let's
30
do it.
clients.
Like
Yeah, okay, yeah.
right there, that's going to go big way towards me like building myself up. Okay, so I need to say, like, I won't get into the financial agreement that he and I necessarily came to, as far as this goes. I don't want to do that as far as fees, but this is all I'm going to say about it. I got to charge what I normally would have charged plus extra, and it all got billed through the financial planner. Okay. So the clients pay the financial planner, my friend.
Right.
I prepare the taxes for the client. He pays me, once
Oh,
those taxes are
so
done.
you have an accounts receivable from this individual.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for anyone who's going to jump in and be like, "Oh, that was stupid," I'm not saying it's not, but remember, this is a story, and I want you guys understand about what's involved with all this. Okay.
Mhm.
So I went ahead and did that because I was like, "Yeah, clients. He's my good friend. I'll get to work with him. This will be amazing." And you would agree, right? It sounds good all
No, I wouldn't because
around.
I know most finance people are scumbags. I went to school with them. I
Oh,
am one of
dude.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, MBA. So, so at first, this was right before the beginning of the busy season, by the way. And remember, I didn't have a lot of clients yet. So at first, it seemed to work out pretty well. I did some tax prep for them. I got to know them. Nothing too crazy. Sure, some of them had questions, et cetera, whatever. It's after that first busy season where things took a turn, and then I realized I made a mistake. First of all, many of them hit me up with constant, and I mean constant questions. And that was something way more than the clients that I had accumulated that were not related to this financial advisor.
Uh,
So, I mean, I was basically getting, shouldn't say hassled, just hassled constantly. All right. And they were also very stupid and very lazy questions. I'm not going to get into examples, but the type where if you took 3 seconds to do a Google search,
you'd have your
you'd
answer,
have
right?
your answer. Okay, so
Okay.
that was that was the first thing that happened. Next thing that happened, others as part of this package, of clients, others that I'd filed an extension with were extremely unresponsive as far as getting me their tax documents on time. So deadlines were missed.
Mhm.
Remember, I don't have really power to do much because it's through the
You got to
financial
go through
planner.
another person, right? Okay.
Yeah. So deadlines, I would let my buddy know. I'd be like, hey, just so you know, Mrs. Jones or Mr. and Mrs. Jones are going to miss a deadline here. They won't get me their stuff. It's like, oh, I'll take care of it. So deadlines were missed. And then these same people would like write these scorching emails with me copied on it and be like, well, he didn't do his job. And so it became a whole like war, about me trying to prove that I did hit them up. So that happened. Even more of them refused to take the advice that I was giving them, such as paying quarterly estimated taxes. Okay. I cannot control if somebody's not willing to take my advice. But guess what? They would get fined for this. They would get noted or penalized from the IRS and especially the state of Illinois. And again, they would try to blame me for that. Okay. Others did all sorts of crazy, stupid things like forming multiple LLCs for God knows what reasons without
telling you,
without telling, and not even telling the financial plan. Like, do you see what was going on here?
So you're saying the financial planner, one, there's already now complicated because you got to go through an intermediary. So that puts a kink in communications.
Yes.
You'll also lose control of your client base, but you didn't select the quality or caliber of your client base.
Correct.
Sounds like he went with just some, because he's also going on a numbers sales volume too. So he's not really screening his clients for competency and reliability either. So now you got some low grade trailer park type of clients.
Correct.
Okay.
And remember, he's and this is most financial planners. I'm not just talking about him. Like, they're based on fees and commission. They don't have to do anything. It's all in like autopilot. They have their quarterly meetings or whatever. Me being the tax guy was the one that was always getting like peppered with this awful crap. And so the bottom line is that the majority of these clients that I gained by partnering up with this financial planner were just absolutely terrible because I eventually figured out that they failed to understand that myself and the financial advisor had drastically different roles. So they felt like it was appropriate to hammer me with stupid questions because they were paying the financial planner, big bucks or whatever fees. And I got lumped in with that, but I also got hit with all the negatives that come with that. And so let me see if you know this, Clary. What is one thing, if you had to guess, one of the things I love most about how I do things today, and this is a very generic question, like, what do you think I like most about who I decide to work with?
You get to decide who to work
I decide.
with. Yeah.
I guess I said it. Yeah. I decide who I work with. I decide who I fire. I decide who I refer out. I felt like I was stuck with all of these clients that were just brutal, like horrible clients because I entered into this like agreement, with my financial planner friend. And he kept trying to pile it on. Like, he's like, well, I got more for you. And here's their return. I'm just like, so this is like building up. Remember, I'm not established yet. So I did not know that this would happen. And the story gets worse. So this got even worse for the next busy season. And finally, man, this is actually before I even knew you, Clary, because I met you, I think, for the first time.
We're going back in the olden days.
Yeah, this is really going back.
Back when Atham was pretty.
Back when Atham was in Asia, I think.
Wow.
He had that long hair. So obviously, I had enough. Okay, I'm just like, fuck this, because you gotta understand, I'm accumulating other clients on my own that were way better than this, that I had authority over and whatever. And the other thing was I had started to zero in on a specific niche, which is what you should do, I believe. So I was getting my therapists and my hairstylist. Early on, hairstylists were one of my niches, but I got rid of them. They're crazy.
No. What?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. You could get people go to school for 13 years and they do hair. What are you talking about? Oh, that can't possibly.
The joke I used to say is that my two niches are hairstylists and therapists, and each needs the other, but nobody ever found that funny. So anyway, so I'm becoming more established, the right way, yet I'm still stuck with this glut of like just horrible people. And finally, I hit my limit, and I sat down with my buddy. I met him, and I told them like I have to end this. If you want, I'll hold on to like it was like 3 or 4 ones that treated me decently, but by
Mhm.
then there were like 40, and I'm like
No, no.
I'm like I'm sorry. We'll call him Dan. I'm like I'm sorry, Dan. I'm not doing it anymore.
Mhm.
How do you think he took this?
Well, I would have thought if he was your friend, he'd like, I understand that's how he should have taken it. But if you're talking finance, bro, he's probably all pissed off because now he lost the commission on all those people.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I would agree. Well, one, I mean, most of the time you really shouldn't work with friends, but like, yeah, this created really a horrible situation for me, and it almost killed the friendship. Like, we didn't talk for a long time because of this. And I think this is my long-winded way of like saying, you don't have to do this if you're trying to get established. You don't have to work with a financial planner because, hold on, let me get to my notes here. Uh, because it ultimately benefits, this is just my experience and opinion, it benefits the financial advisor way more than it's going to benefit you, the tax accountant.
Mhm.
I really believe that. It doesn't matter what kind of financial agreement you get into with them, whether you bill them on your own, whether you do it through the financial planner, they get the benefit of all your tax knowledge and everything, because a lot of what goes into this is taxes, and it'll just be one giant pain in the ass. So do you kind of see where I was going with this?
Yeah, I would see, but it sounds like you went into an arrangement that was rather like, okay, I'll handle all of it. And I could see as being a young new entrepreneur,
Yes.
that would be preferable. But that doesn't mean financial planners can't provide a good source of future clients.
Right.
You just have to be very discerning.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm not taking these type of clients.
Yes.
You're not talking to them. It's a 1 year commission. You
Yes.
send it to me, that's it. Here's your commission, that's
Yes.
it, you're done. And I have their numbers. We're not going through you because that's just too inefficient. I was going to ask, um, not only with the 40 clients that you had, but and clients in the past and ever since you've been in business, have you noticed a correlation between income and reliability?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you have. Okay, because the reason I bring that up is there's to give your audience the idea of what you're trying to get at is there are these things called private banks. I don't mean they're privately owned. All banks are
Yeah.
mostly privately owned. But I'm talking, they're called private banks, but they only deal with people with a certain amount of net worth. Now,
Yeah.
Chad, why do they have typically lower interest rates for high net worth individuals?
Well, I mean, they've got the collateral and the assets and all the everything that would support them getting those lower interest rates.
Fine, your underwriting fundamentals are better. I'll grant you that. Here's another reason: wealthy people, I should say, wealthy people tend to be less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
They got their shit together. They know how to
Yeah.
pay bills. They know they got to pay their taxes on the 15th. They are more financially aware and they are more responsible people. So these private net worth, what they do is say, no, you need to have this much in assets, otherwise we won't do it. And it's not because they're trying to be elitist or anything like that. They don't want to deal with the bullshit. And
Right.
I've known some personal underwriters and bankers in private banks, and they don't deal anywhere near the shit that I had to deal. And it's the same thing with what you're dealing with here. You have to make darn sure you get good clients, no matter whether you
Yes.
field them from the public, a financial planner, or whatever. And I'm not saying you can say, well, what's your net worth? Da, 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 da. But it gets back to what has been a long-standing point of yours is that you need to screen your clients thoroughly.
Yes, and this is kind of my whole thing, because I want people to learn who are just starting out. Don't make the same mistake that I did. Don't just blindly sign up for it. You have to screen them, and you have to have the ability to choose who you do and do not work with. I firmly believe that, better than any financial arrangement you can make with, a financial planner, I
So
think.
let's put some numbers on this. You've been in business 10 years?
11.
11. Okay. So
Yeah.
out of the 11 years, if you didn't consider all the hours you've worked over these past 11 years, I know it's skewed towards busy season, but the 11 years you've worked, if you didn't take on the crap clients, how much in terms of accounting years would that have saved you? Would you be a full year ahead, 2 years ahead, a fraction of a year ahead? Because it seems to pain you a lot. So I imagine yeah, fine, you got business early on. What I'm trying to say is like, okay, yeah, fine. You think getting a client today is going to be worth it, but a client today would cost you two tomorrow if you were better and more discerning with who you took as a client.
It's a great question and one I've never even thought of before. I would have to say, just quickly scanning the years, I think I would have. I felt like I was quote fully established. I'll just say about 2018. Like I felt like I'd really made it.
Mhm.
I think that would have happened a couple years earlier if I had not.
Really?
Yeah, because it wasn't just these bad clients that I'm talking about on the stream. There were
Mhm.
other bad clients that I made real mistakes in taking. And this, I mean, I can tell you guys, this is a good client, this is a bad client. But unfortunately, it's one of those things where you kind of just have to experience some bad clients to
Mhm.
learn what to sort of look for and not, to make sure that you don't deal with them. Clary, I can tell you within one email exchange now if somebody is going to be worth a damn, worth any time. I can. I promise you. I've got
Wall
it.
of
Like,
text, lack
yeah,
of
that
paragraphs?
anybody who does that, no, no, because you are basically saying, like, you have to read all of this. I'm entitled to basically vomiting everything to you, and you just have to deal with it. So anybody who does that, I'm either not going to even reply, or I'll send it to one of my referral sources and be like, if you feel like reading all this and think it's a good fit, let me know and I'll connect you guys. But
It's I'm wondering if it's the same red flags that I find when doing asshole consulting. If it's like voice to
it
text and
might
there's
be,
wrong words
yeah,
and they never get to
spelling,
the point. Yeah.
yeah.
And then they always say, as a such and such, I need a discount because I'm a disadvantaged group or something
Oh, I
like
sent
that.
you those, yeah.
Well, I had a client too where she's like, "Well, I thought from the tone of my email you knew I would need some help." It's like, I'm not in the business of giving help. Go fucking to the government, man. Or maybe I don't know, become a nice lady and marry a nice guy and he'll help you out. But fuck off. So yeah, entitlement is another one.
Entitlement is huge. Cheapness is huge. If somebody's not willing to recognize your value, don't waste your time. So yeah, and I did announce last week. I was like, so Clary's going to take the lead on the course, but maybe this is worth. If you get to a part about selecting clients, maybe this is
Oh, I
worth.
have. I
Yeah,
went through you sent me back the updated outline, and I will definitely be getting into the details more and be calling you. But yes, we will be putting together the course. I will be giving you an affiliate link so you can get a commission on that.
whatever.
And then but it's not coming out today or tomorrow or anything like that.
Um, the story has kind of a happy ending. The one that I just
Oh, I like
outlined.
happy. You have pain. I see your pain. I'm happy to enjoy your pain, but now we're gonna have we like to see it when Chad has a happy ending anyway.
We patched it up. Remember, this was a long time ago. Like he and I
Mhm.
patched it up. He remains one of my best friends, and believe it or not, like I'll even occasionally do some client returns for him
Mhm.
because I outlined to him very carefully what I would and would not accept. And I think I have it's either two or three clients of his that I now do. They're they're appreciative, they're professional, they treat me with respect, they meet my deadlines, and most importantly, I bill them. And I said to, we're calling him Dan. I said to
Mhm.
Dan, I reserve the right to break this agreement and doing their taxes basically whenever I feel like it.
But basically, it's like, look,
Yeah.
they're my clients now. Fine.
Yes.
Here's your commission for
Yeah.
1 year. Thinking, and it's this
Yeah.
here. Let's switch the roles. Do
Sure.
you want to? Let's say he wants clients from you, right? Tax people
Sure.
need
He
financial
always
planning.
wants
Well,
them.
yeah, he wants sure, and of course. So you would send it to. Do you want to be the in between? Do you want to manage the client on the
No.
taxes and the financial planning? It's like, no, get the fuck out of here and
No.
call Dan. Don't call me.
Um, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get another beer. I want to
Mhm.
go through a few conclusions. I've got a story about a financial advisor from last week, and then we'll head home. So,
Good, because I gotta
Hawk,
go get
anything?
dinner. I gotta play poker. I got important things to do, Chad. I'm an important person now. Very
Yes, he
important.
is. Hawk, whatever you want. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I don't know. You guys all know. Well, I got books here. All right. What do we got? A World Without Men, an analysis of an all-female economy. Not that you could tell with the pile of skulls what would happen if men stopped working. Well, there you go. The book of numbers analyzing ROI in the pursuit of women. No, that's not a penis. That's her foot. We have the book of numbers Better Bachelor Edition with Joker there. Also not a penis. And that is a foot. Curse of the High IQ. This is for all of you who tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour and like, why are people so stupid? It's because they're stupid. Sanity is the Future of Wealth. This is a very short book. It's not a book, it's an essay. It just, it's about how leftists are insane and mental health. How not to become a millennial. This is a thick book. This is a real book. This is 432. I thought it was almost 500. 400 odd pages. Real book there. And then we have our good friend Marcus Brown. Black Man's God Out of Poverty. You don't have to be black to read that, but it helps. And then we also have Bachelor. Oh, this is a thicker book. Bachelor Pad Economics, Financial Advice Bible for Men. You don't need a financial advisor. You just need this convenient 500-page book. See, doesn't that look fun?
It's about 10 years old, isn't it now?
It is, but the fundamentals don't change. There's nothing wrong.
All right, just some real quick conclusions with this, because I know I bloviated about it enough, and feel free to disagree with some of these. So here are my takeaways from this. All right. Financial advisors need us tax professionals far more than we need them.
Correct.
In terms of like referrals and everything.
Yes.
And I want people that are listening to this, tax pros, to understand that power dynamic. There's a shortage of us and there's nothing close to a shortage of them. So understand that, please.
And they are replaceable by internet technology.
Yes.
You are replaceable. So keep
very. Realize that entering into an official or exclusive partnership with a financial advisor is, in my opinion, a lot more beneficial for them than it is going to be for you. It has the potential to cause nothing but unnecessary headaches due to potentially more difficult and entitled clients that you might not necessarily have any authority over. And I strongly feel that it is not a necessary component of building a successful tax practice.
Right.
Don't jump into this. You can build your own client roster without having to resort to this type of referral arrangement. The financial advisor can and will pawn, the needy clients off on you whenever a tax question comes up, and you will get peppered. Like I think there's too much potential for abuse. And like I said, I'm deliberately leaving out any financial agreements that could be made, with them about this. But at the same time, I feel like that's besides the point, because it's about running your own practice the way you want to. And entering in these types of exclusive partnerships will prevent the ability for you to do that. So that said, as we talked about before this, it's totally fine to work in conjunction with a financial planner for the benefit of the client when it comes to tax planning purposes, and it should even be encouraged. But always make sure there's a healthy professional distance between you and the financial advisor, and hourly rates absolutely need to be applied. I have a lot of clients. They have different financial planners, and whenever I have to sit with a meeting with one of them, my hourly rate applies, and they understand that. Yes. So just be very cautious about this. If you decide to work with a financial planner for referrals, set rules, set boundaries, and make it clear that you can drop any client of theirs that you want to at any time. And that's it.
Outstanding.
What do you think?
I think it's correct. I think it's time for the nerdy CPA accountant types to realize that they're the ones with the. Remember how I said that accountants make more than investment bankers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't work as long.
They don't work as long, and then the accountants have a better skill, a much more needed skill. So, now it is time for the accountants to, the frat boys had their party dude road finance stuff back in the day. Now it boils down to who has the actual skill. This isn't to besmirch financial planners, but you're just not that necessary. and accountants. I think people try to take advantage of accountants because their accountants, they're nerdy, they're quiet and they're meek, and there's some truth to that stereotype. But yeah, and people accountants will get taken advantage of. So you gotta say no, fuck off. That's it.
And I was too. Look, I admit I didn't know, I'd never run my own shop. So yeah, I got taken advantage of. And I'm telling you this so that you don't get taken advantage of. Another quick story about a financial advisor whom I've never met and I don't even know who he is. If you got time, I know you probably.
Okay, I got time. Make it quick though, because
I will.
I'm an important person out here in South Dakota. I have to go play my poker. I have obligations to the community, Chad.
I wish I could hang out with Great One, but anyway.
There's a thing called a fucking plane, and you got direct flights out of Dallas.
Well, you might not want to hang out with me. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. So, okay, during my, you have to understand, when you do get established, you're always getting financial advisors hitting you up randomly. Random financial advisors that are like, I would love to enter into a partnership with you for referrals. And again, I just got through telling you why you should be weary of that. So this one fucking idiot did this. He hit me up random. I want to partner with you on March 14th. It's like, you stupid fuck. How
March 14th?
March 14th. I went back and looked it up. Because I was like, when did this dumb fuck email me for the first time? And there's more with this. March 14th. And so I wanted to ignore. I did ignore him because I'm like, it's March 14th. If you're that tone deaf and stupid, I'm not even giving you a response. So the same idiot, and he's not a boomer, but he's kind of old Gen X, to give you some idea. The same idiot hit me up again. It was probably a couple weeks after tax season, so late April. Hit me up again with basically the same email, and he's like, I guess you missed my first email or something.
Circling back, you get the
basically.
Yeah, I'll fucking shoot your ass down. You circle back.
So I took the time to write a one-line response this time. I go, so and so. Hey, I'm already working with 2 financial planners. Just remember, I have 2 friends. Whatever. Good luck. And then he wrote me back and he's like, oh, but if we could just talk, I'm sure we could find a way to work together and all this stuff. So obviously I didn't reply to that. I just fuck this guy.
I either block him or I do the good old Latham send nudes.
Send nudes?
Yeah, I said send nudes. I'll send because I get hey, we can optimize your SEO and do this shorts and I send nudes and then usually they go away.
So Clary, Monday, was that 2 days ago? Monday morning, candidate's gone. I slept in. I'm feeling good. I do check my email. I have another email from this motherfucker, and I'm going to read it to you. Okay? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this. Sure.
Chad, I hope you're doing well. I have a question about potential IRA rollovers. I have a client with 2 SEPs, an old 401k, and an IRA rollover. I would like to consolidate all of these accounts into the IRA rollover and then send money from there to buy 3 annuities for the client. I am concerned that we can't roll over the 401k and both SEPs because of the quote, 1 rollover in 12-month rule. Does that count as 3 rollovers? One solution I thought of is that we might be able to move plan to plan and move the 401k and one of the SEPs into the other SEP. Then roll that SEP into the IRA rollover so I'd only have 1 rollover, but then can I still move that money into the annuities? Thanks so much for your input. That's the whole message. There's nothing in there that's like, we will compensate you for your time.
Hey, how much to answer this question?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Fuck you! What do you mean? Thanks so much.
What's the name of the company that he works for? I think you have the. Huh?
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. And
I want to know the name of this company that he works for.
I will absolutely tell you that. I do not care about doxing this motherfucker. Okay.
Well, don't mention his name. I just want to know the company that is sending out financial advisors to go and try and steal accountants' time. So I don't want the guy's name. Was this Ameriprise? What's the name of this company that fucking hired this dipshit?
So I can't tell you that because the name
private
of this
company.
Guy, it's a private company, and his last name is the name of the private company.
Him and a bunch of other dicks in their hand, washed up MBA Gen Xers who are going to make a fortune, bro. They don't even know the answer to these questions. It sounds like a tax evasion question at that.
Yeah.
I know not getting, but if it was like Ameriprise, I have no problem identifying these companies for shit service. Yeah, if it's a small little private thing and he's one of the partners. But holy shit, one of the partners is doing that, huh?
The nerve on this dude. You hit me up during probably the worst day of tax season. You write me back a week or two after tax season. I give you the courtesy of saying, no. You harass me after that, and then you want free advice.
You never open the emails. You just delete them and you block them.
He's
That's it.
blocked. He's
Yeah, good.
blocked.
He's good. Good on that. Yeah.
So I say, and I know you have to go. I say that because, again, there are good financial advisors. I'm friends with some of them, and maybe you can make it work. Just understand that a lot of them can be very selfish. I don't think their jobs are that hard. And anytime there's any type of difficult work to do, they're
Oh
trying to
no,
get
they're gone.
somebody
They're
else to do it.
finance bros. Yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's all sales.
So, all right, Claire, we just have a few super chats if you want to
Sounds
read
good to
those.
me. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and field those. Justified
Mhm.
Misagony, $2 1 month until boomers retire in my office. Let's go. So what, all the boomers? Oh yeah, Justified. Yeah, he's yeah, they're trying. I think they were grooming him for
Yeah.
promotion. Too. Yeah. So well, best
But
of luck to you, Justified.
yeah. And by the way, Justified, you said sorry for all the emails you sent me. Don't worry about it. We're still getting you squared away.
Do you ever have the I know this has nothing to do with it. Do you ever get does it smell like motor oil in your world? And you're like, why does it smell like motor oil? Like it smells like
No?
motor oil. And I think I worked yesterday on the car, but I have no idea why I'm like looking around. I step in motor oil. Why do I smell more manly than I normally do? That's my question. But this is just an aside.
Well, since you like my pain, I think you should know that the high today was 96 with a heat index of 104.
Sucks to be
So,
down there. If only there were flights from Dallas to Rapid City. If only you could enjoy the 76 degrees and not humid. But
I'll,
we don't want to. We
I'll-
don't visit cab. Let's go do drugs with Atham. Let's go fly 3 times the distance. How
we'll be
far? I bet you it ain't more than hang on flight Rapid City, Dallas. I bet you this is less.
Cheech
How
and
much
Chong.
time does it take? 2 hours. For God's sake.
Well, we're all going to get to see each other and hang out. I mean,
Yeah, but your GF wants to see the southern or the northern command,
sure.
right? And I know you hate it, but sometimes
I
you do
don't
things so other
hate it.
you know you don't like it because there's not pot and heroin and
Oh, there's
mushrooms.
plenty
and
of that there.
I'm sure. Well, yeah, I know the cops. Yeah, they got plenty of it out here.
No, actually, I'll talk to you about that because I do enjoy visiting there. I sincerely I
You don't have
enjoy
to
it
be.
'cause
You could be here for 48 hours and you go home. That'd be fine.
I don't know what this means.
Y2A problem, $2. I hope both teams lose. It's a good sports ball quote.
Are you talking about hockey, the Y2A? Oh, I understand the motor oil lingering smell. Well, Clary's just all full of manly smells these days.
I am full of manly smells today. Yes.
John Watts.
John Watts, $5. Great stream, useful info. Too bad it was shorter than Cappy. Ha ha!
Haven't seen Dre in a while. I wonder where's all the short.
He might be sleeping. He was doing his standard $2 super chats earlier today. Video I did, so he's around.
Unrelated, but that was funny. Jack Napier basically got kicked off Twitter, and now he's building. He's back.
He's building back. Yep, he's coming back. PI, $5. Holy cow! My bro is doing missionary work in the Dakotas. Told me it's full of squalor. How is the Dakotas? It's night there. It depends. Where's your buddy? If he's doing missionary work, chances are he's on one of the reservations. And it depends on which reservation you're on. Some reservations do really well, like if they got a casino, if they're well managed, or if there's like good farmland. Others, the poorest reservation in the United States is Pine Ridge, and that's in South Dakota. It's probably there, and it's a war zone. It's absolutely horrible.
Did you go on a hike today at all?
No, I didn't. I just didn't have the energy. It's a beautiful day for a hike, but I kind of you get those days you're just like,
Sure.
oh fuck, So it's I did no exercise today.
Just real quick, this is Justified Misogyny. They want you to stay a bit and be working in this department, but we'll still work on the EA. You've got job security. Yeah, man, keep working on the EA. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's happening.
Oh, Mexican poops. From a Mexican poop. Hey!
Atham 2 weeks. Okay.
PI, $5. I convinced my mom to get into accounting and have showed her your vids. I hope me and her can use the course Cappy's making. Thanks for the info, bros. Yeah, no
Absolutely.
problem. Oh, I have another thing, but a resources.
Sure.
We know Brian Kim is going to be a resource. I need other resources for people to go to tune in. So
Oh, I can give you that.
we'll do that later. Yeah.
I got plenty. Clary, I really appreciate you coming. I thought you'd have some good info about financial advisors, and you most certainly did. So I really appreciate it. I'll probably do a show next week. I'll be back in Chicago, but I got a very busy social schedule, being honest. And but I'll try to do one. Otherwise, Clary, when do we hope to hang out?
Soon.
Soon.